Hello, you're watching Make It Right Left here, and I'm your host, Thomas J. Bellezza. Today, we are going over 3 things to write a script.
Do you have what it takes to make it right left here? Do you?
If you haven't already, please subscribe to get your first looks at videos to entertain, educate, and enlighten your day. 3 things to write a script. You want to write a script specifically for a film and you don't know where to begin. Well, what helps you write a good, strong, solid script that you can either A, film yourself or send to somebody? Well, these 3 things will help you understand how to write a script. The basis of getting started. Number 1. Why does the story need to be told? Something you should do is put a little bit of time into it. Mull it over. Is the story worth putting a lot of time into it? Has it been told before? Why do I need to tell this story? Is this a one-off idea or is it a part of a series? So now you have the reason inside your head. What's next? Well, number 2, lay out the story within a treatment. That's right, before you even write a script, we're already brainstorming on it, and now we're writing a treatment. We're focusing our energy on the foundation and backbone of what eventually will become your script. What's in a treatment? Well, a working title. I personally like to create a title that will inspire me or motivate me to really put some thought into the storytelling itself. A good title can create a lot of mystery or intrigue. Logline. Whatever the idea is in your head that you want to get at, how do you sum it up in a very concise 1, 2, or 3 sentences? Keep it very short. Basically, a logline is your ultimate elevator pitch. If you could say your logline and someone goes, tell me more, you got them. But ultimately, use the logline to help you understand the through line, the purpose of this story. When you write the script, you look at the logline and you say, well, am I really hitting that beat? Is that logline in this script? The next section is my favorite section. This is where you explore the characters. You build their backstory. It may not affect the primary script, but you're defining the characters. Basically, like an actor does, they come up with these ideas. Where does this person come from? It might not be in the script, but they're developing this character, because the more you know about the character, where they came from, and where they're supposed to go, the more you could write in their voice. Because dialogue is not based ultimately on what you're trying to say. It's based on what that character is trying to say through your story idea. So the more you know about the characters, the more you know about their relationships with each other, the more you'll be able to understand the dialogue when you're writing. And the last thing you will put in a treatment is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. That's right. You have to define those acts within your treatment. Act 1 is basically 1 to 3 paragraphs, and you're explaining the main conflict, and you're setting up the scene. You're setting up the mood. What is this story? Bring us in, suck us into the scenery. Describe the world. Act 2 is ultimately 2 to 6 paragraphs, and you're taking the conflict that was explored in Act 1, and you're expanding on it, and how does this affect the entire movie? But Act 3, you're going to write anywhere from 1 to 3 paragraphs, how everything resolves. What is the conclusion to the story, and how does it conclude? You don't have to be extremely detailed in this, but you also shouldn't be vague. When you're vague, it's very easy to get lost in vague writing, where you're just like, oh, well, these people, they need to like each other, and this thing happens, and oh, there's going to be a big bang. Now, with all that said, where do we move on to? Well, this is supposed to be 3 things to writing a script. I like using a technique I call writing within boxes. Basically, I take all the characters and I put them on the left side column. It doesn't matter if there's 1 character or 30 characters. However, I will clarify, the characters need to be primary characters. If it's just Bob, the grocery store guy, where they literally have like 1 or 2 lines, but they're not driving the story, I won't put them in the column. Right? Anyone that's going to influence the story's growth or move the story along. What I like to do is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Now, because I have all the boxes, and it's like a graph because I use spreadsheets, I'll then say, let's say the first character is Thomas J. Bellezza. Yeah! I'll have an actual column between the acts and the characters, just with a smaller description of each character, which I basically wrote in my treatment, just so I could always see that and say to myself, all right, this is who that character. But once Act 1 column comes up, I'll say Thomas must meet Marissa within the first 17 pages. So that must happen for me. Now, it's not very specific. It's just a guideline because I like to write in train of thought, but I know that within the first 17 pages, Thomas must meet Marissa. And then everything else would be there as well. And then I would do Act 2, and I would write down what needs to happen there. And they're just little hot notes, little, just quick things. So while I am writing the script, I can write in train of thought and go, am I hitting those beats? Am I getting what I need? And it helps me fly through the script. Most of the time, what I like to do is I'll write the script that way. Train of thought, I'll look at my notes as needed. If I feel it's going off, I'll read the treatment again, say, all right, I'm still hitting those beats. All right, good. If I'm not, I'll go back and rework it. But after my first run, my first draft, what I like to do, and this is a little fun I like to do, I like to order a pizza, get a bunch of my friends to come over, and they read the scripts. Usually they're friends that are actors, writers, and producers and directors, because now I'm building and cultivating relationships, well, mastering and practicing my craft. But at the same time, we're getting to have fun. I feed them, we read the script. At the end of that time, I'll go back and I'll rework the notes. I'll listen to their critiques, without defending anything. So if they say, I don't like this character's height, I won't be like, well, they have to be tall. I'll just take it in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will also write down things like, because I have all the character details. So if somebody says, oh, that character seems so angry all the time, we're like, oh, yeah, this character's not supposed to be angry. All right, so I'm missing something. I'm not writing something. So I take all those notes, and then I'll go and do draft 2. Then I'll order more pizza, and I'll get different people to come in, and maybe 1 or 2 of the other people, just so we could see if we're maintaining continuity or we adjusted some of the things that were really explored in the first reading. And I'll do it again, and I'll do it maybe 3 or 4 more times. And at that point, I've had a lot of pizza. Thank you greatly by giving me your time by watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please let me know by liking and commenting on the video. If you have questions about some of the content, write your question below in the comment section and I will happily reply. If you really like the video and you would like to show that love, just share it and that would be fine and dandy. And to follow my traveling adventures of a resilient entertainer, you could go to makearightleft.com. Do you have what it takes to make a right left here? Do ya? Do you, punk? Do you have it? Do you? I mean, do you? Excuse me, I have to go.
Oh dear.